Well, I think it was evident that for us at least that our guys have spent a lot of time, playing individual one-on-one defense and trying to improve that plus defend the 3-point line. We've not been very good in those areas. The three areas that we've really tried to improve upon is guarding your man one-on-one, and defending the 3-point line and taking care of the basketball. And I thought today was an example of the guys really doing a great job of that. And, when you do those things properly, then you're going to have success. And I think, I was really proud to watch them play today because their hard work. They deserve victory as hard as they've worked this past week.
I would say pretty successful little moments that you can break down. Davion checking into the game, first career shot attempt, first three on the board. Latrell was hot from range, going 5 for 5 before that first miss.
Yeah.
Talk about how those little moments secured big-time momentum when you guys secured it the most, and how are you guys going to continue that going forward?
Yeah, I mean, you can't predict the future, but you can't control how you play, I think, or your effort. And I thought you mentioned Davion making a shot, Latrell making a shot, which I think is important. I'm sitting here with AJ who contributed to that because he got guys really good shots off his penetration and shots that we practice. And I think shooting has to do with, hey, when do you know you're getting a shot when you don't know? And I think when you take shots that you're comfortable taking, you practice, you're going to make those the majority of the time. And I was most encouraged with, to be honest with you, the guys were committed to playing hard and getting off to a good start tonight. And they did it, and as timeouts and time kept going on, hey, let's keep a shutout. Let's get 4 more minutes, 2 more minutes of a shutout. And those are the talks, the communication, the voices, the pride in playing defense we didn't have the last time we were out here. And I think for us to be a championship-level ball club, we've got to have. Because this team we played today had played St. Louis, who's a really good basketball team, for a half tough. They played SMU all the way down to the end. They played North Texas for 3/4 of the game, really tough. They were in a few points at North Texas at half, and they really didn't have a chance tonight. Our guys really jumped on their throat early and gave no chance for victory.
AJ, you stayed hot after the previous game today, having a double-double with 10 rebounds, 13 assists total. Talk about how your practice work has elevated you and continued this success even with basically an entire week off, and how you plan to continue the streak that you're on going into this upcoming week with some top-tier matchups.
Just continue to be me, for real. Just stacking days also, like going through practice, it's a grind and stuff like that, so I got to make sure like that we keep going and stuff like that. And a lot of guys, credit to my teammates, they push me every day to be the best I can be too also.
And to slightly bring it back, we kind of don't want to talk about that game against Northwestern, but obviously with 96 points and then crossing the century mark tonight, I know that your mantra is the press you defense, but tonight especially, the press you defense turned into the offense that we saw on the scoreboard. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, Hunter, it's just press you in general. So it's pressure on the rim on offense, pressure on them defensively. It's all together. It fits all together. And so, I was excited for our players to have such a plus-minus in assist to turnover today. I think we had close to 30 assists and 10 turnovers. And we turned it all over 8 times, I think, in the second half. Only had 2 at half, had 17 assists to 2 turnovers at half. And when you have those kind of numbers, you're going to play well. I mean, and I don't care who you play. And that is the point you're making is how we weren't playing at breakneck speed, even though when AJ's in there, he's excellent playing at pace. But I thought we obviously Latrell had a fever going when he shoot 5 for 5 from 3. But he didn't make any crazy shots. I mean, the shots he got were within our offense and extra passes and stuff like that and rhythm shots that I think. And the guy's been out for 3.5 weeks. So and he's only practiced 2 days since coming into the game. So I would have never expected him to go 5 for 6 from behind the arc after missing 3.5 weeks of practice. I mean, it's hard to do. But I think he would tell you, appreciate his teammates got him those shots. So, it's just the biggest thing from a takeaway from today's game. For me as a coach of this team, how quickly we started, and that we won the second half by 20 as well. Like, our guys weren't content with just winning the first half and the game being over at that point. And that, to me, is a build upon from the first game we played against Laterno. And I think this team's a lot better than Laterno. And they have great size. They've won more. They won a national championship last year at the NAIA level. And so, they're playing with one of my former players from here, Samaja Hart, who played a lot on our 28-3 team that beat Duke. So it was in the rotation. So they got good players, and our guys didn't give them a chance today.
So very successful win, 103-40 today. Congratulations, guys. Get some rest, and we'll see you later on this week. Thank you.
Thanks.
I'll be saying the cavalry coming, right?
The cavalry's coming.
Cavalry's coming.
That's right.